children, so your grandchildren, or their future spouses. So all of these people can be beneficiaries of this trust. And some of the advantages of this would be that you allow yourself to split income with your wife. So right now, your wife is a stay-at-home mother. She doesn't have any income other than the income from your rental property. So what we can do is we can issue dividends to this trust, and the trust can pay dividends to her, and this will increase her income. So it's splitting the income between you and your wife, and you will pay less tax on this income. You can also split income with your daughter Charlotte. So your daughter Charlotte's young, she might be considering university or already in university, and this would help her to fund her tuition. And since she's not currently working as an employee but helping out with the company, it can also give her income for other necessary things in her life. And finally, if you do choose to sell this business in the future, you're also able to split the capital gains on the Class B shares that we issue to this trust. So all of the beneficiaries, even the children that are younger than 18, would be eligible to use their capital gains exemption, and you could basically use up your entire capital gain by splitting it between all of these beneficiaries and reducing your tax burden significantly. So here again is the trust, the structure. We have the holdco, which owns the Class A common shares, and the trust that owns the Class B common shares. So then moving on into your daughter Charlotte, planning specifically for her and her needs. So we have two options of how you could let her become a shareholder in the future. The first option is the stock option. So what we're going to do is, right now you might not be ready to turn your company over to your daughter. She's still young, you are still involved in the company, you would like to be involved in the company for a significant period of time until you are ready to retire. So when Charlotte graduates from university or when she becomes an official employee of your company, she can be granted stock options to allow her to gain a little bit of ownership in your company. This will provide accelerated ownership of the company and will motivate her to work towards the goals, and also give her motivation to be involved in the management just like she would like.
Now we'll also go over an estate freeze, which is a technique to transfer ownership to your daughter tax-free. So first of all, we will create a new preferred share of the holding corporation by amending the Articles of Incorporation. These shares must have a reasonable dividend, must also be redeemable at the shareholder's option, and the shareholders must have input in the decisions regarding those preferred shares. Now, with the estate freeze, we will exchange the preferred shares for the exchange the common shares of the holding corporation for the preferred shares, and this will allow Charlotte or any other of your children to buy the actual shares of the holding corporation at a very minimal value. So that brings us to the various benefits of this technique. So as I said, it's very advantageous because it's a tax-free transfer. So it does reduce your tax burden in the immediate term. There is a minimal investment for Charlotte. We did see that Charlotte is not ready to invest a lot of money. So this is very efficient because she won't have to actually disperse a large sum of money. A third advantage is that the future value of the corporation will accrue onto your your children. So the children will have the tax consequences in their hands, and since they are earning a lower amount of income, this will allow them to save a lot of taxes. Now, this also continues to give yourself Havaya income after your retirement from your corporation. Since you do own the preferred shares, you will have a fixed amount of income, so dividends coming into to your hands, so you will be able to fund your retirement and enjoy yourself after you decide to retire from your company.
So this, as you can see, is the new structure, including your daughter Charlotte. And today, as you've hopefully learned, we've gone over a few corporate considerations, personal considerations, and rental considerations, and finally succession considerations for your company to help it flourish and continue to grow, as it started very well here in Twapigao. So we would like to take any questions that you have at this time. Thank you very much for your attention.
about the property rental income. Why would you capitalize the windows and everything? Because you said you need to capitalize it because it's renovation. But there's like, you have like more arguments or something, because it's for me it's a reparation. So I would like to get it as an expense, but I don't know. You're the best, so.
Well, this would be a renovation that would increase the value of your property, because when you purchased these property, your windows were older, I would assume. So when you did this renovation and you made the switch, you increased the value of your property. So you have to capitalize this, and you'll be able to capitalize it over time. So you'll still realize the full value of this investment. It'll just be a little delayed, unfortunately.
And the other thing also, because maybe I missed it, but I bought all the property myself, and I'm splitting the income with my wife. Do you think am I okay with this? Because I already have some problem with the CRA, so I'm not sure about what they're gonna do if they come at me personally. So I just want to make sure that I'm okay at that point.
So since you have bought your property by yourself, so without the help of your wife, the income would have to be attributed on your personal taxes.
All right.
Unfortunately, it's a bad situation, but that's how tax law works.
Thank you. A bad decision, you said, huh?
You said that the interest on the house were not deductible, but do you have like any suggestion for solution? Because like I hate that, and I would like to find something more better for me. So any ideas?
It would be possible to pay back the loan with maybe another loan if you don't have the cash on hand, and the new loan that you have created would have to fund another investment, so maybe your shares or any other future investments. And so the interest that you incur in the new loan will be deductible in your personal taxes, and that's it. So.
Thank you. And one more question for the car. You said the allocation from the company to the employee was not reasonable, and that it was all income and all taxable. Any ideas so that it's more tax efficient?
You'd have to first of all you have to look into the reasonable rate from the Canada Revenue Agency to see if the allowance is appropriate and reasonable under tax law. It is. If your employee does take the allowance, he can reduce his income with any further salesperson expenses, and but there is also the option of giving him the car, but he will incur a taxable benefit. So the best way to do this is to have him use the car personally at lower than 50% of the whole kilometers on the car. So make sure that the business use of that car is more than 50% of the overall kilometers.
Thank you.
A little question for you, because when you do the test for the capital gain deduction, you took out like the treasury and equivalent and everything, but you didn't say anything about my short-term investment. I would just like to know if you think that could be a problem, or if you know something like I'm okay with that, I don't need to think about it.
Since your investments are only temporary, then they are considered active business to be generating active business income, because it is not your intention to use this money to invest it in the long term. You're just investing in currently while you have the cash on hand. You want to do something to gain income during this time, so it is considered to be active business income.
But isn't it the same for the $15,000 that is actually cash? Or like, what's the difference between?
Well, we have to do some calculations on that, because it's really what we consider what to be reasonable cash. So it's according to the CRA's definition of what is reasonable cash. So actually, it would probably be lower than 0.3% of what. So you still would qualify because you are meeting the 90% limit.
So you're saying that $500,000 of investment in cash would be reasonable?
Yeah, because you have $4.6 million of assets currently, and that's only the net book value, and it's the fair market value. So the value of your assets could even be higher.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,